Get in, nerds. We're playing Victoria 3. We are working on getting Japan's baseline industrialization up. Are there any more changes to our politics that we need to make? We could go to state religion. That would give us a pile of authority. And give us a nice rad bonus. Where are we with cultures? All of our... virtually all of our population is Japanese. And they are Mahayana. We have very small numbers of other populations here. So, yeah, I think let's go ahead and do it. This is going to lock in our religious production methods for our buildings in our government type, but that should be fine. That's just fine. I'm not worried about that. It'll help us maintain stability. We did complete another iron mine. That means we're going to be producing a little bit more iron. I am going to get a few more levels of construction industry built. Unfortunately, we are short on infrastructure in Kansai province, and I absolutely need to deal with that. So we're going to go ahead and build a port. I just realized that had happened. We're going to pop that up to the top here. Making sure that we maintain full market access in all of our states is a top priority, because we need to be able to have full access to everything, to all of our markets everywhere. That having been said, I'm actually going to pop on road maintenance there instead of building this port, because I just realized I could do that. I've got a huge pile of authority, and one thing that I'm not generally as good at as a player is remembering to use my authority to do decrees, which I often do not do. So yeah, so we'll continue to work on these mines. I'm actually going to do another decree in Tohoku, where we're currently building, just to make this go faster. Rousing speech captivates the public. This afternoon, Yoshida Jutoku, leader of the Buddhist monks, delivered a fiery speech advocating for the enactment of state religion. Making an appearance before the public in Kyoto's main square, Yoshida Jutoku's powerful rhetoric left even his most embittered political opponents impressed. Excerpts from the speech are already being circulated across the Japanese shogunate, fanning the fires of an already roaring debate. It should ease the path to reform greatly, or performances like this reflect well on Yoshida Jutoku and his cause. This makes him more popular and makes the Buddhist monks stronger, while he has 10% enactment chance, whereas this other one gives us 15% enactment chance. I'm going to go with this second one. Yeah. That's going to make the Buddhist monks even stronger. With that, we are actually finally getting to the point where we have production in our other set of iron mines. That's very good. So it's going to get us up to 60 iron. So we now have two construction lines working. That is very good for us. That means that our maximum amount of iron used is moved up to 120, and when this mine gets completed, it'll move up to 150. Or no, 160, I think. And because our current use is 90, that means I can flip one more construction sector over to iron frame, and that's what I want to do. Now you might be asking, why am I not building a bunch more construction sectors? And that is, again, I just don't want to completely strain my wood production, because the farther out we get from our baseline in terms of how much we're using, the more expensive that material is going to get. So we're going to have the one in Kanto and flip it over. It's going to make iron extremely expensive, but we're developing more iron mines even as we speak, so that should be just fine. Now we can go ahead and turn off the road maintenance decree in Tohoku now, because we're not building there anymore. Miracle workers. Reports abound of a miracle performed by clergymen in Kyoto. Such displays are promoting religious piety throughout the Japanese shogunate. Think first of the good of others before yourselves. To give is divine. To cultivate a generous spirit is a true virtue. Follow the path of righteousness, not out of fear, but out of love. The Buddhist monks are the true followers of the divine. This makes them stronger, gives us 20% enactment chance. Our state religion will fill our hearts with faith. This gives us 40% enactment chance. I'm going to go with the first one. I don't need all 40% on this. I think now that we've got a good solid base of iron in production, here's the rest of the song. I'm going to move the port up in priority. So that gets finished, and then I can stop working on the decree I've got there. So the other two, the arms industries that I'm building are in Shubu and Shigoku. I'm just checking to make sure we're good for infrastructure there. We are indeed. And then Shigoku, we have the necessary infrastructure here as well. Excellent. So that's going to be just fine. I am improving relations with the Dutch and all these other countries. I can't rival anyone down here, but these are natural rivalry targets for me. But unfortunately, I only have one interest, and it's already declared. It's in the Rhine region. But this is going to be important for maintaining my relations with the European powers, because again, I don't want to get attacked early on in the game when I have functionally zero military. So I think once we get done with this round of iron mines, we are going to get building up our arms industries. Excellent. Had a lot of advancement. We are finishing up. We're about a year away from completing line infantry. And these industries are probably going to take about 30 weeks each to build. So that's going to be just fine. We're going to get there kind of just in time to make use of our new industries. We are also going to go to cannon artillery. And then we're going to immediately move on, as I said before, to researching Napoleonic warfare. So let's do a little demo of the early production methods for barracks. Right now, all barracks use is labor. I have irregular infantry with no artillery. Infantry focus, technically, is the name of this. We get up to line infantry, so irregular infantry have 10 offense and 15 defense, and plus 15 morale loss. With 1 army power projection per level of barracks. Line infantry have double the power projection. Or no, not double, triple the power projection. And unlike irregulars, which have 10 offense and 15 defense, line infantry have 20 offense and 30 defense. So they're double as strong. They have plus 10 morale loss instead of plus 15. So that's a huge pile of difference in morale. They cost 1 level of small arms per level of barracks. Going from infantry focus to cannon artillery costs 1/2 a unit of artillery per level of barracks. That gives us 10% each morale damage kill rate, and 10 extra offense and defense. Excellent. 85% enactment chance now. Getting that port built in Kansai. So let's see. We've got 450 levels of conscription centers. So with our production methods that we're going to be using, I'm going to set us up to produce cannons. So if we're producing cannons, we're going to get 15 levels of small arms and 15 levels of artillery out of each level of arms industry. That means we're going to need, in order to fully support our conscription centers, we're going to need 30 levels of arms industry total. But that's a little bit of a phantom number. We can have probably closer to 20, and that should be fine. Also, as our military technology gets stronger, and we get new production methods, things like the shell gun and the percussion cap and rifling, we will allow ourselves to use more effective forms of production methods for that arms industry that will allow us to not have so many. We're producing a healthy base of loyalists now. This is critical in the early game, especially to maintaining a very traditional form of government and other structures. So, in order to make sure that we have the necessary resources to sustain our arms industries, we are going to need to flip our logging camps over to hardwood production. 106 hardwood. That should be fine. Amory consideration, very good. This is going to cost 10 hardwood per level. Oh, actually, we're not going to need to produce that much early on, but we are going to need to produce more later. Let me see. We're currently building all of our arms industry in Chubu and Shigoku. We got plenty of infrastructure in both of those locations. Let's build 2 levels in Kanto and 2 levels in Tohoku. And that'll give us plenty of flexibility. That's why I'm spreading them out, by the way, to have flexibility in our production methods. Once we get these built, we're going to need to build universities, because we've got to get our tech going properly. After that, because of all these levels of universities were being built, those are each going to consume 5 levels of paper. We're building 14 of them. We're going to have 24 total. Let's just assume we're going to have 24 total, so that's going to consume 120 paper. We're already over our base method, and we're going to need more later, so I think we're going to need to queue up 3 levels. Yeah, each of our paper mills produces 40 paper. So we're going to need to queue in 3 levels of paper. Can't do Kansai because we're short on infrastructure there, but I can put 1 in Chubu and 2 in Shugoku, and that should be just fine. And I'm going to put these... I'm going to put them at the end of the universities. I'm actually going to intersperse them into the universities. The barracks are not... Oop, that was a mistake. The barracks are not critical. We're in adoption now. Very good. The barracks are not critical, so I'm... like, they're kind of a drop in the bucket. They will give us power projection, which I am going to need, but for now they're not of critical importance. I might pull them up and intersperse them into the universities. In fact, I'm probably going to do that. But for now, I think they'll be fine where they are. Oh, that's actually a good question. Do I need power projection as much as I need faster than I need education? Okay. Oh, that's fast. Oh. Interesting. America wants to open our market. Wow. That happened sooner than expected. Let's see how this goes. What countries do we have? It's only Great Britain and Great Qing. And honestly, I'm... So this is really interesting. In earlier build... The last time I did a Japan run, it was in a much earlier build of the game, and other countries generally did not do this type of thing this early on. But, frankly, I'm tempted to just say okay, because, well... Yeah, okay. Oh, I forgot to add a war goal. Well, so I defaulted into war reparations. My best result here is white peace. Huh. If I give in, the result will be I'll go to free trade. I don't mind that. On the one hand, I did promise to help to show you all how to set up an economy from scratch, which I thought I was going to have to do. what would going to free trade do to my politics? We're in isolationism. If we go to free trade, the shogunate's not going to like it, and the Hei men are not going to like it, but both of them are basically okay. So, I think no country is really interested. So, my options are to fight the Americans or to go into free trade. I'm going to go to free trade. Bam. And that really changes up our capabilities significantly. Insufficient prestige. Why? Oh, you lose prestige when you do that. Well, that's not necessarily a problem. I'm not worried too much about that. I'll go back up eventually. So for now... well that changes up our calculus significantly. Because I don't need to build all these iron mines. What I really need to build are arms industries, and I can buy iron abroad. The opening of Japan. Forced to open itself to the world, the Japanese shogunate must now contend with the economic interference of other powers. The authority of the Tokugawa clan and the shogunate have consequently been greatly undermined. The changing winds of time howl against our door, and to preserve our establishment, we must bend and open them to the whims of the world. We must adapt to new circumstances. The landowners get minus 75% strength, and Yanari Tokugawa gets minus 100 popularity. Oh, this changes everything. I had no idea this was going to happen. Hold up. Hold up. Oh, but they still have a huge pile of strength from all the laws supporting them. So this is not that big of a deal. This doesn't actually change us that much. Anyway, we'll go ahead and finish out state religion. And there that goes. We've lost some cash. Not sure why. But you know. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. Oh, because we lost a pile of authority, maybe? Not sure. Anyway, let's get some more taxes enacted. Get our financial situation back in order. Again, I'm over my reserve limit, but I'm not necessarily concerned about that. So we're going to be producing arms industries next. Where can I bring in iron from? Because that's what I need. Not a lot of places. I can bring some in from China. I don't have a huge pile of convoys, but I can get more. So let's grab another construction sector and pop it over to iron frame. And that'll create some additional demand for iron in our market. And that'll make it efficient to import more iron. And then we'll do the same again. And that's going to cost the government a little bit more money, but that's okay. Alright, so... with that having been said, I am realizing that I think the barracks are actually of critical importance. So we're going to move the universities and their requisite paper mills down in priority. And then we're going to move the next round of arms industries back behind those. We're building faster now. I am going to finish out these iron mines because it's important to have enough native sources of iron to support my industries. So let's take a look at our trade routes. Now that we're a free trade country, these trade routes are profitable. Excellent. We're definitely going to need more ports to support all the trade we're going to do. Let's pop one more in console. Actually, Let's go ahead and finish road maintenance in Kansai. We don't need that. But let's build more ports here to support our convoy needs. We have a total of 150 per port level, so building 4 more levels of ports will double our capacity for trade. What do we have that's affordable that we can sell? It's dyes. The countries want dyes, and we've got dyes to sell. We'll sell those to Prussia. We're eventually going to need to use our own dyes in our textile industries to increase our textile situation. But this is not bad at all. You know what, America? You're fine. Can I improve relations with you? I don't, because I don't have a strategic interest there. That's okay. We also lost a bunch of authority because our shogun is deeply unpopular. Everyone's big mad that the country got opened, but that is what it is. Oh, interesting. Propertied women. Oh goodness, everyone in the government is against this. Let's not do that too soon. I still need to wait for my intelligentsia and to get less angry due to my having changed up the religion laws, and my rural folk and I think samurai. Rural folk, and my shogunate to get less angry due to the switch over to free trade. Which again, strictly speaking, it wasn't my fault, but, you know, I don't know that they see it that way, and I don't think they're wrong to not see it that way, so it is what it is. Line infantry is almost ready. We can import small arms while we build up our arms industry, so let's go ahead and... Oh, 6 weeks, actually. There's plenty of time to get that done. Like I said, we've got a lot of work to do to build up this economy. But it is good to keep native iron sources ready to go. Where are we with clippers? We're right kind of where we want to be with clippers. We're probably going to need some more shipyards. I've got a location. It's got, I think, a shipyard throughput bonus. Yes, here in Shikoku. So we're going to build up some more shipyards here. Not more. We're going to build up some shipyards here. We're just going to get 2 levels. And we'll get those producing military shipbuilding, because we're going to need a navy in the modern age. The age of Victoria III. Alright. I'm actually going to use even more iron here. And I'm going to hope that our trade routes continue to provide the iron we need. Excellent. Here's line infantry. So let's go ahead and get our production methods going for that. And to satisfy those needs, we will need to buy some guns. The British will sell us guns. And the British will sell us guns as well. The Prussians will give us a better price, though. And 18 guns is not quite enough, so we'll pull some more from the British as well. We do have an artillery shortage. That's not a problem. We don't actually need that much artillery in order to do what we need to do with our barracks. So, and in any case, we're building up arms industries even as we speak. We're going to need some naval power progression. We are going to fall down... No, okay, our prestige is going back up. Excellent. Great, I don't need to worry about that. We are, of course, temporarily sending a lot of money overseas buying firearms, but it's necessary in order to make sure that our country is safe. We will probably need to, because we're not building that many levels of arms industries to begin with, we'll probably need to flex upward in terms of arms production using trade, later on if we end up fighting wars, but for the moment, I'm not super concerned about that. We're only 30 months away from having a proper military method, and then we'll be able to hold our own to a certain extent. I think we can stop improving relations with China now. Because there are other countries we may want to... We're working on... Okay, we're almost done with the Netherlands, actually. So once we're done with them, I think we'll work on... Can't do Austria because we don't have... Yeah, I think Austria is going to be next. Prussia typically doesn't look too far abroad. And Russia's going to be our go-to for forcing recognition, so I'm not going to necessarily improve relations with them. But Great Britain and France are paramount. I might improve relations with America after. They're actually disinterested in us, that's fine. So, let's see what our... That's wild. Great America, you goofs. Why did you force me to open my market if you weren't going to sell things here? Yeah, silly Billy. You absolute weirdo. Why would you do that? Anyways, not a problem. We have a movement for homesteading and a movement for property women. Homesteading is really good to do eventually, but it's going to completely wreck the power of the shogunate. And I don't necessarily want that right now immediately. What I really wish you would ask for is appointed bureaucrats, because that'll give me extra taxation capacity, and taxation capacity is something I am currently, you might describe as desperately short of. Let's see, are we continuing to bring in the iron we need? Not to the extent where I feel like I can just go putting more construction sectors into iron frame quite yet, because I need to have the iron for our arms industries. Arms industries cost 20 iron and 10 hardwood each. So we're going to need to have... How is hardwood again? Hardwood's still very cheap. Alright, so our current logging industry more or less completely satisfies those demands. I might need to rely on tools briefly. Actually, now that I can import tools, let's go ahead and do... Oh, no. All these countries have expensive tools. Okay, well, that's okay. That's alright. We'll tool up... We'll queue up more tooling industry. We'll put it in... We're getting a little short on infrastructure in Chubu, so we'll put more in Kanto. And I'm going to use those tools to increase our output for livestock ranches. In fact, let's go ahead and do this right now. That should increase the demand for tools. So let's see if we can buy some. We can get some from Belgium. Cool. Belgium, home of the Danish. A very small number of you who have watched a very particular Key and Peele sketch are giggling right now. Right. We appear to have moved up in rank to 15th, just above the Sikh Empire. Coming for you, Sweden. Coming for your place in the sun, Sweden. Japan is growing stronger. Alright, so that finishes out our arms industries. That means we can go ahead and cancel our artillery trade route and our smaller small arms trade route. And that will allow our arms industry to get producing arms, a thing everyone needs to shoot at people with. Probably asking myself if I should reduce the number of sectors I have on iron frame buildings. But again, I think we can handle that using these iron trade routes. We have the capacity to maintain them and the carriage capacity. Oh, Prussia changed up its probably tariffs. No, there's no tariffs on either end of this. I don't know why this route's unproductive now. Prussia, you dorks, give me more iron. Fine. If it stays unproductive, we'll just cancel it. Yeah, alright. So, still short on artillery. That won't be long now. Still very short on iron, as we talked about. So I think once we get done with Napoleonic warfare, I'm extremely tempted, actually, to go directly into percussion cap, intensive agriculture, general staff. But, on the other hand, I do need to get lathe, because I need to get those other production methods ready to go. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Then I'll have my run of the other production methods. I think I'll probably do Atmo Pump Engine after that. And the reason is because I have to be able to get more iron out of these iron mines. And then once that's done, we'll do intensive agriculture. Do I need nitro in order to produce explosives? Let me check. I'm in rural, so that's not going to help me. Where are chemical plants? Here we go. Okay, I can't look at it here. I don't think I need nitro to produce explosives at all, so I'm going to not worry about that. So, once we get intensive agriculture, we'll start working on army reserves. If that doesn't spread to us fast enough, then we'll queue in production cap and then finally general staff. And hopefully, we'll get at least some of these technologies spreading to us. We got unlucky this time through with paddle steamer spreading to us, but that's not that much of a problem. We still don't have a lot of influence, but we are pretty influential. We don't have a lot going on politically. And keeping our laws the same, we could technically switch over to theocracy, but the shogunate would be very mad with that. We can also switch up from home affairs to one of these methods. As you can tell from my France run, I'm not a huge fan of National Guard, at least not for a country of this kind. I'm much more likely to prefer secret police, particularly for a more regressive, reactionary way of playing. They just give you the power to suppress interest groups fairly efficiently. And I need that for this playstyle. At this point, I think we have... It's not absolutely necessary to build up more arms industries, but I will, like right now immediately, but I will build those ones so that we can get at least some semblance of autarky from a guns perspective. Oh, I'm really not liking this this increase in iron prices. Can anyone else sell me iron at a reasonable rate? Not really. Oh, that's a tragedy. That makes me very sad. Oh, but China's selling me a bunch more. That's wonderful. Again, the early game as Japan is very, very slow because there's a lot to do and it all takes a long time. But having had our market opened is actually a significant benefit for us. We can also probably sell some other things. Glass. Everyone likes glass. We can sell that. Let's sell that to the British. And then grain. Absolutely everyone likes. We can sell that to Prussia. Prussia loves grain. And the French and the Dutch love grain too. Cool. That having been said, it's been a long and interesting episode. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you all on the other side.